The WNBA playoffs. This your boy Diddy Knows Ball, and I'll be talking about the WNBA playoffs. They start today on Sunday during football season, which is crazy. But it's actually gonna draw interest this year because of Caitlin Clark. And yeah, let's get into it. I will be predicting the whole playoffs from the first round all the way up to the championship, but I'm gonna spend most of my time talking about the first round. And then as the actual playoffs go along, I will predict and go more in depth into the second and finals rounds type. You know, get my gist. But first, we have the 1-8 matchup between the New York Liberty and the Atlanta Dream. Now, from the outside looking in, this is probably the most least interesting series because nobody really cares about Atlanta like that. But I low key like Atlanta. Now I don't like their coach. I didn't like the Tina Charles making her one of the focal points of the offense. Ryan Howard did get injured for a small stretch. I'll say a small stretch of the season before the Olympics. No Cheyenne Parker Tyus. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know if she's back now, but when I was watching, she was not back. They do have two stars that I compare to the women's version of Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum and Alicia Gray and Ron Howard. I think Alicia Gray is a two-way wing, kind of like in the same mode of a Jalen Brown. If you're an NBA fan and want reference, she can shoot the three, she can get to the hole, she can play defense. So I really like Alicia Gray. She's been an all-star as an Atlanta Dream player. So I really like her as a complementary piece to Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard is a big wing, like Jason Tatum, can handle the ball, can play make, can play defense, can do a little bit of everything. The biggest question with Ryan Howard is her consistency. So those are the two best players on Atlanta Dream. And I think they could make it hard for Sabrina Ionescu and Brianna Stewart, but I don't think they could stop them, and they don't have enough firepower on the bench, in my opinion. I think the Liberty have the coaching advantage. Tina Charles, John Quill Jones, Eileen John Quill Jones in that matchup. So, New York Liberty side of things, I think Sabrina and Brianna Stewart are going to have to work in this series because, like I said, Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray are great two-way players. But when it comes to role players and when it comes to coaching, the New York Liberty have a distinct advantage. I think the New York Liberty are, if I'm not mistaken, let me check and see. They're number two in points, right behind the Aces, and I think the Atlanta Dream are dead last in points. So it should be a fairly easy series when it comes to just firepower. It's all about firepower. But and I'm hey, don't be surprised if Ryan Howard goes off in a 30-point game and they at least win a game. But it should be a fairly non-competitive series just because New York should just roll them, man. I do not like Tanisha Wright as a coach. So that's the 1-8 matchup. Now, let's get to the 2-7 is Minnesota Lynx versus the Phoenix Mercury. Okay, the Phoenix Mercury and Minnesota Lynx. The Phoenix Mercury have more star power. They have three Olympians and Diana Taurasi, who's basically an honorary Olympian. You got Brittany Griner, who's still a rim protecting paint beast. Let's just keep it a buck if we put it in 2K terms. And then you have Kalea Copper. I haven't been really keeping up with the Mercury as of late because I stopped watching them just because they had a lot of injuries. A lot of people's in and out the lineup, so it's kind of hard to gauge them. But they do have the pieces. I like Sophia Cunningham. I like Natasha Cloud. They do have some pieces. But so this series really could. I don't know. If I'm putting somebody on upset watch, I'm gonna get to that later. If I put somebody on upset watch, I don't know. You could possibly say Mercury, but I just think the Minnesota Lynx are the better team. I think the Minnesota Lynx are the better team. You have For the Minnesota Lynx, you got Nafisa Collier, who I think is the second best player in the WNBA. I think she can do a little bit of everything, and if it wasn't for Asia Wilson, she'd be the best player in the league. But Nafisa Collier is kind of like an undersized four, but she can shoot it. She can take it to the hole. She's efficient. She rebounds. She plays defense. She's everything you would want in a star player. Now, the only question I have with the Minnesota Lynx, who is going to consistently be that second person? I have seen Courtney Williams go off. Kayla McBride is a little bit inconsistent up and down. They got is it Carlton? They got Alana Smith is a stretch five. I do like the girl they brought in the trade. I can't think of her name. Is it Hines Allen? They brought in during the trade. She gives them a little size, a little defense, a little toughness. So I still like Minnesota Lynx. They're the best 3-point shooting team in the W. So if I was a betting man, I would bet on the Minnesota Lynx to win this series against the Phoenix Mercury. So yeah, especially in game one. And I'm picking New York Liberty to beat the Atlanta Dream in game one as well. So game one, Minnesota versus Phoenix. I'm leaning Minnesota. Game one, New York Liberty versus Atlanta Dream. I'm leaning New York. Now, to the 3-6 matchup, the most interesting matchup in the whole first round to me, because the Connecticut Sun versus Indiana Fever, 3-6 matchup. Connecticut Sun are favored, but I'm leaning Indiana Fever. Let me tell you why. First off, I think Indiana Fever have the best backcourt of the WNBA in my opinion, and Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. And I just think at any given moment they can combine for damn near 50 to 60 points. I just think that. So I just think the firepower. I think Aaliyah Boston, she's one of the better post players in the WNBA. I'm just looking at it on paper. Had they been playing recently, I lean Indiana. Now, Connecticut side, they did add Marina Mabrey for some offensive firepower. Uh, Dejanay Carrington is coming into her own as a two-way player, and she has given Caitlin Clark some trouble in their matchups. And Brianna Thomas is also giving Aaliyah Boston some trouble in their matchups. But my problem with the Connecticut Sun is Alyssa Thomas and DeWanna Bonner. I just don't think they can score enough. Alyssa Thomas, I love her. She's like a Draymond Green type of player, in my opinion. But I don't know if she can score enough. DeWanna Bonner has been bad in every game I've damn near seen her play. Most of the games I watched of the Connecticut Sun, DeWanna Bonner has been extremely inefficient. So I just don't think the Connecticut Sun have the firepower to beat the Indiana Fever. And don't be surprised with an Indiana Fever game one upset. No, I'm picking Connecticut to win game one. Am I? Because I don't know because Kelsey Mitchell did get hurt in the last game against the Mystics. So I think I'm leaning Connecticut to win game one. I might regret this, but Connecticut win game one, and then I have Indiana Fever winning 2 in a row. That's that. Now, the last first round matchup is the 4-5 seed Las Vegas Aces versus Seattle Storm. Hey, this is who I'm putting on upset alert. I actually favor Seattle Storm versus Las Vegas Aces. Let me tell you why. Seattle Storm has the best 1-2 punch at the 4 and 5 defensively in the WNBA. And Izzy Magmagore and Naneka Agumake. Oh my goodness, those names is crazy. But I think that's the best front court defensively in the whole WNBA. And I think they can give Asia Wilson problems. Asia Wilson is getting her points against the Seattle Storm, but in those games, she has had some 7 for 20. So she just had some games where she's done really had to go and earn her points. And I think that's all you need. Jackie Young has been good against the Seattle Storm. I don't like the Seattle Storm backcourt as much as you would think. I think Joy Lloyd is extremely overrated. I think she's very inefficient. Skylar Diggins Smith is all right. So if Seattle do lose, it's gonna be because of the inconsistency in the backcourt. And then on the wing, Jordan Horston, I don't know if she's playing. Russell. They got questions in the backcourt and on the wing, but I think that front court, if they can stop Asia Wilson and if they can score because they will have the size advantage, it's gonna come down to that. And I don't know on the Aces side. I'm expecting Kelsey Plum and Chelsea Gray to get theirs, but Chelsea Gray is kind of falling off. She's kind of falling off, bro. Let's just keep it a buck. Chelsea Gray is kind of falling off. So I don't know what we're getting out of Chelsea Gray. Becky Hammond, I do think she's the better coach, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Aces win. But I'm leaning the upset. I think Vegas might pull off game one, and then I think Seattle could reel off 2 in a row. I'm going with Seattle Storm in the first round. So that's the first round. So by my estimation, I picked for the 1-8 with New York Liberty. So they'll match up against the 4-5, if I'm not mistaken. Or would they match up against the 3-6? I think it'll be the 3-6. So it'll be New York versus Indiana. I think New York takes Indiana. And then 2-7 will be Minnesota. They will match up against the Aces or the Storm. I picked the Storm and I picked the Lynx. So I think the Lynx could edge the Storm. And then wait, how does this go? I guess I'll get to that when I get to that. That's just my first round picks. And I'm so slow, man. I'm sorry. But I do have the winners of the first round being the Liberty to beat the Dream in the first round. I got the Lynx to beat Phoenix in the first round. I got the upset of Indiana to beat Connecticut in the first round. And I got the upset of Seattle Storm to beat Vegas in the first round. So, yeah, I'm going to do my second round predictions and my conference finals predictions and finals predictions, however we go, as they come. This your boy didn't know about. Let me know y'all predictions down in the comment section. Let me know how y'all feeling. Who will be the finals MVP, WNBA finals MVP, who's the X Factors. Just let me know y'all picks. This your boy didn't know about. I'm out.
Found some shit I love to do, so I can look comfortable. Searching for a peace of mind, need that when it's time to rhyme. Perfect in every line, any chance I get, and I know it takes time, but I would never quit.